All right. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are staying safe, staying home, only getting out of your homes. Only it's very necessary for you because still this whole pandemic is not over and it still requires our support and all the care that we can take of ourselves and our family members. Coming to today's topic, we are going to discuss about life skills that are required for a post-pandemic world. Why we decided to do a live on this session is on this topic is right now we all of us we have a bit of fear, a bit of anxiety in all our minds about how things are going to turn out, how long this lockdown is going to go about, and everybody is so stuck in the present. What is happening today? How many cases have increased? How many deaths, more deaths are there because of corona? We need some positivity, we need some guidance to look forward to how the world is going to change. In India, mental health is a very less talked about subject. We always look at people or talk about people of what they do, but we never really talk about how we feel or how they feel. And that's the reason today we have a esteemed speaker with us who's going to decode us what life skills are and how it is important to pay attention to how you feel and how what you're feeling. So let me introduce Dr. Ram Gudgila. He's a public health expert. He's a life skills coach. He's a founder of Network of Youth, a NGO working in the field of youth development. He's also a corporate trainer and a public health sector expert. So let me welcome Dr. Ram Gudgila. Hi, good evening, Dr. Ram.
Good
How are you
evening.
doing?
Yeah, I'm all well. How are you?
Very good, very good. Thank you for joining us. We are really glad that you're here. All our viewers are also excited because life skills is a very interesting subject. Let's dive directly into the conversation. So tell us what exactly are life skills because it's not a very commonly heard word.
Yes. So Saurabh, I guess I am audible very clearly to you.
Yes, very clearly.
So basically, as we all know that whenever like we have been undergone different trainings, or sometimes we read different things, some stuff for our own development. Sometimes we read voraciously to gain up some interesting facts in our life. So
True,
basically, to move ahead in life, or to do something very exciting and face existing challenges of our life, we need to have certain skills. So, like usually, as we all know, that human beings have a very great capacity of adapting to situations, or
true,
as all our ancestors have been doing, that we have adapted to all negative and worse situations with a positive balance, and that has helped us to deal the situation very rightly or very correctly. So life
true.
skills are those skills like we learn a simple technology, we
Hmm,
cope up, we learn that technology, and then we master it, and then I think we use it full fledged. Similarly, in
true,
life, we have to use some specific values, say some core qualities or some core skills which help us to cope our day-to-day challenges very regularly or on a very nice basis. So right now, as you know, that we all are going through this very challenging phase, like a medical emergency. So I think this is the right time where we should really talk about life skills, which is going to help us to cope up with the future challenges, or to actually tune us with the upcoming future, what we are going to be in coming week or a month or so. So it's all
true.
about building capacities to deal tomorrow.
Okay, okay. Can you give us a few examples of life skills so we have a better understanding?
Yeah. So let's simplify. Like for example, there is a person, a college going student who has just completed his bachelor's, and he is about to apply for a job. And then he
Right,
has understood from himself or from his mentors around that punctuality is the area where he is lacking, and he is not able to reach at time or perform his things as and on time also. And as we know
right.
that in the corporate world or in the external world, punctuality is the biggest thing which every individual has to practice. So
True.
what life skill he needs to understand is he needs to come on a point of self acceptance, that what are his strengths and weaknesses, and or you may
Right.
call it shortcomings, and then he has to really update those areas where he need to work on, and then pick up that, and then complete his personality in such a way that he is ready to take care of himself and succeed in this world. So simply
Right.
it is, he is developing his skills to deal with the existing situation as well as overcoming his own challenges.
Right. Understood. Very well explained. Okay. So next question I want to ask is, we as a community, we as a society, what changes do we need to bring to ourselves to get adapted or get adjusted to the coming time when everything will normalize, we'll get back to our routines. We as a community, what changes we need to bring to our behavior?
Exactly. So, Saurabh, as we all know that, say a span of 2 months before, and maybe somewhere in the Feb, we all were in the month of January, we all were in a life where we were welcoming 2020. And what
True.
interesting thing was happening is, if you see behind for some years back, maybe a decade back, or maybe a few years back, lately, if you see, everyone in this world was becoming more of individualistic. Like, you
True.
knew programs for self-development, programs for entrepreneurship, programs for self-grooming, programs for self. And what happened is, we have become so self-centric that we forgot the concept of we, that is us.
Right.
So, like, if you see, when we all came up with this plan of going live, this live couldn't have been more strong and more effective unless there are two people at least, because
True. True.
now this is the concept of we, that we both are having a conversation and then we are reaching out with some message. So first of
Right.
all, we forgot the thought of we. So now it is a time that when we are out of this pandemic, we have to come out of the cocoon of I and get into the zone of we. And I'll explain
Wow,
this with a
that's
very simple
beautiful.
example. We all know that we all know about law of nature, and there's a very interesting law of nature, this law of interdependence. What is this?
Right.
How we get rains? Like, you will have we all know the water cycle. The water evaporates, it makes clouds, then the clouds have rains, then they go again back to the place, like they'll again go down to the ground, and then again they will form water sources, and again this is going to happen. Now,
Right.
today, this is a point, or this is a time where we have to be very critically sure, and make steps where all of us come together and work together. So now this is a time, if we have to really envisage a wonderful society, or if you have to really come up with some good plan of action, we'll have to really, really practice law of interdependence. That is, now we have to think of we and bring all people around us together. Because
Right.
unless we don't bring all stakeholders together, like for example, like we have maids, we have a chauffeur with us, we are going to gym, we have gym trainers with us. You go to any grocery shop, you have people around them. So there is a chain of people where they're going. You have to help them and contribute them, as well as you have to grow. So now I
True.
think for the next coming years, or for some time after this pandemic, even I would take let's pick up this as a life skill, that let's practice law of interdependence, that let's all come together, help each other, and help everyone to come out of this pandemic crisis, so that there is no challenge later in their life. So I
True.
ultimately
True.
think that now we need to think of a society where social inclusivity is practiced.
Right. And that you very rightly said that we need to work together as a society rather than just looking out for your own self. And
Exactly.
together we'll always grow faster, we'll always grow better. And that is something surely our society needs in today's day and time. All
Exactly.
right. So whenever there are stressful times, whenever there are certain times where people are stressed, choices is something which is hampered. So right now, what can people think of while making a choice, doing a thing, what they need, what they want? Is there a guidance to that?
I will start with a very simple example. So I had so many of my friends, so many of my clients who used to come to my clinic, and so many of my family friends used to complain me that अरे हम हमें fruits नहीं मिले. We didn't get fruits in the lockdown.
Right.
Some people complained that we didn't get this particular service. Some people complained we didn't get that particular service. So now what I want to clearly focus on particular this answer,
Yeah.
the point where particularly we have to make a very clear line between understanding something that is a extreme need, you may say, or something like which is a must area, and which you need area. Now what
Right.
happens, what is the challenge is, uh, there are certain things which are must, like you need vegetables, you need grocery, you need medical aid, that is all must zone. But we have to very critically segregate between the musts and the actually shoulds area. So what will happen is, like, if there is a confusion between a need and the want area, where things which we really need, we should have more than that in our day-to-day life, then all those areas which we really, they are into leisure items or leisure areas. Because what is important is now, particularly when, if you want to face this post-pandemic challenge or a post-pandemic
Right.
situation very comfortably, we have to really understand that what we exactly need and what is the list of a leisure list or something which we actually we don't need to really push ourselves to go in that zone. Because what happens is, there is a very interesting life skill which we all should really learn is the life skill to prioritize things. So,
Right.
like, if you
True.
have to make a choice between two things, which is like mandatory or which is like leisurely. So right now, if you
Right.
make list of what is mandatory, it may come like very simply. It may be buying clothes. It may be using some specific services. It may be simply using an internet facility, because now today internet is going to go in the must category because everything is gradually shifting online. So
True.
we have to be very sure, and we have to sharply plan and prioritize things, that where we need to invest ourselves. And I would very frankly tell everyone through on this particularly answer, that now we have took one thing which we forgot, but I just highlight that, that is, we have prioritized the fact that we have taken health as the first priority. If
True.
you see,
True.
because you also come from a medical domain, I also come from a
Right.
medical domain, we knew that in India we had so much of struggle to tell people the differences between communicable and non-communicable diseases. And now suddenly in 2020, health is at a prime priority. So
True.
what
True.
happened is, because this crisis came up, we started prioritizing. So now we need to learn a very interesting thing to prioritize our day-to-day stuff, or to prioritize our life in such a way that whatever we wish or whatever we really need, let's stick to that, and let's keep all those areas which we really don't want, or we really can stay without it, because right now we have practiced staying without all those things which were not in the must zone. So I think we have
Right.
already
True.
practiced them.
True.
So let's go with the concept of prioritization, or just prioritize things and move ahead.
Right. Very true. Very true. Uh, so right now, the whole communication that is happening, mostly it is digital, either over a video call, over a video conferencing, or it's just a digital communication. When things will go back to normal, when people will start again having face-to-face conversations, do you think people need to be more considerate towards each other because we all are sailing in the same boat of difficulties, and
Hmm.
how they can do that?
Yeah, I love the word you have used, that is considerate. And
Right.
this itself, this is the point where we need to start. See what has
Okay.
happened, Saurav, right now. If you see, like in this entire process, like now globally, globally, last 60, 70 days, we all were in lockdown. If we
Right.
consider for India, last 60 days, we all are in lockdown still, and we will be ending this lockdown process maybe by this 31st, or it may even extend. Now, what
Right.
has happened is, in this entire process, uh, in this lockdown, there are millions and billions of stories. So
True.
either they are negative stories, they are positive stories, there are stories. Now, what has happened is, whenever we are going to resume with a set of stories to our offices, hospitals, workplaces, wherever we are working, we're going to resume. Now,
True.
what has happened, what is going to happen is, if we have lot of negative experiences, lows, ups and downs, we have a deeper impact on our mind, that there are certain things which have been really made us upset. Like, some people might have so many emotional turmoils, monetary crisis. Some people might
True.
have gone through medical emergencies, and there are so many things which haven't worked. Now, what we need to do is, whenever we all get back to our work, this considerate word is why it is important. We all, as a society, have to adopt a quality called as empathetic listening. Now,
Wow.
what is empathetic listening is, we basically we'll have to figure out, or we'll have to work on an area where we will, especially the leaders, especially from any global organization, from any organization, or at least let's start from a small unit of our society, that is family. Let's try to listen to people without advising them, without being judgmental, and allowing them to speak whatever they wish to. Because
True.
unless there is an empathetic environment in your workplace, or in your home, or in your families, unless there is no warm environment, that the de-stressing process of that individual is not going to happen, because I'll tell you again, we have millions and billions of stories with us after this lockdown. And
True,
I would
true.
say that if we ensure a empathetic listening, where we are just listening to the person without being judgmental, the first gift we are going to give to the person is we are going to make him hopeful.
True.
Because at that point of time, he's going to feel that he is not alone now, and there is someone around him who is ready to help him out. So let's
Understood.
really practice empathetic listening so that we reinforce hope.
Surely, like, of course, our viewers and I will inculcate this into my day-to-day routine to make sure that if someone has something to share, I would be a listener to that story. Because if it'll surely help a person when he gets to share whatever he is thinking. True.
Exactly.
Uh, it's been a huge break into the routine. It's been now 2.5 months. People are stuck at home. When this will get normal, when people will return to normalcy, do you think they will face any behavioral challenges or any conflicts as such?
Yes. So what has happened is, Saurabh, there is something which is very critically which has happened. And what is that is, freedom was being taken away from us.
True,
Just
true,
go back to 1st of Jan 2020, 1st of Feb 2020. We all were really enjoying a space where we were free. Like so many trips we had planned, some people had planned some visits outside. So there was a freedom. Now what happened is suddenly we were blocked for the freedom. Like we were not allowed for the sake of our health and for the sake of the community well-being. So we were told to stay inside our place, our homes. Now, what happened is when this all happened, freedom was taken away. The first and foremost thing happened is we first of all couldn't accept that, so we became impatient. So immediately
right,
after 60 days of this process of sitting at home, when we come out, there are probabilities where we might feel impatient. Many of us still have rejection over the fact that we were inside the lockdown. So there is no acceptance with the fact. There is a huge distress that why with us? Why with our generation? I'll quote you the example, Saurabh. I knew one of my client who was going to get married on 29th of April.
right,
Now, especially when there is a milestone of getting married, someone is going to get a job. He's going to resume or he's going to join that new job from 1st of May. So his milestones of life has been affected. So he'll always get this thought that why me? Why it happened to me? Why with my family? Some people lost their close ones during this medical crisis. So when all this is going to come, it has triggered isolation. So when the person is going to get back to his basic day-to-day life, all these things are going to pop up, and
true,
there are high possibilities that people may get aggressive, or people may feel they will get aggressive, or they'll get into conflict by small things.
true,
So we have to really ensure that by one simple fact of awareness, that wherever we are working at any workplaces or at home, if someone is really agitated, aggressive, or angry, let's give a quality time to that person, as I told in the empathetic listening part. Along with that, we need to check that what is the baseline thought with this person, so that he is behaving in such a way. Because there might be hopelessness, there might be feeling of isolation, there might be very simply fear of uncertainty or fear of future. So this all things are going to pop up, and I would say that let's see it rationally, and it is normal to experience this, but we need to also take help, because we
true,
all have experienced this right now, because this is the first time where the world has experienced this. So there is no experience from our decades or centuries where we have experienced that there is
true.
something which has happened and we can talk about it. So it's a very first hand time for us. So let's see it very rationally.
True, very, very nicely put. So we basically need to understand that whoever is being a bit more agitated, there is a reason behind it. There might be a story that we don't know. Try and listen to their story and try and help them as much as you can. True.
Very true.
You, in the passing, you mentioned fear of future. I wanted to have, my next question was about fear. So right now we all are living under fear. Fear of what's going to happen, fear of economy crashing, fear of infection spread, fear of loss of livelihood. So, in general, there is a sense of fear about what the future holds. Is there a way that we can tackle it?
Yeah. So before we will absolutely look to tackle it or to take care of it, but we'll have to come for few understandings or few thoughts or few
True,
awareness. Now, what is interesting is we all have fear of failure and fear of future, And we all know that this is very normal to feel that there is something which we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. So like how we didn't know somewhere in the 2019 that what is going to happen in 20. Similarly, we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. This is very much normal. Now what happens is it crosses that thin line from being normal to abnormal or from normal to panic status. First and foremost is there is a difference between being concerned and being panic.
True,
Now what has
true.
happened is when we were understanding corona as a virus, we had concern. Now what has happened is slowly, if we don't see it rationally or scientifically, there are possibilities where we will actually shift from being panic, and that is going to be dangerous. And this all passes through a very simple process of horribilization. So what happens is,
Okay.
particularly when we are dealing with any crisis, we as human beings has to come out of the fact that we don't need to horribilize situation. And I'll explain you what is horribilization. Like if Saurabh comes to my clinic and I'm a doctor and he comes as a client for me to have a conversation about preventive health and all this stuff. Being a medical doctor, if I start horribilizing him and saying that situation is going to be worse and it's going to be more dangerous and we can't predict the future, so what I'm doing is right now I am creating a panic situation in your mind. And
True.
right now there are 10,000 factors which are basically horribilizing the situation in such a way that this fear of failure, fear of future, or this fear of something uncertain is popping up so high that we feel more worried.
Right.
So to be very honest, we have to adopt the Buddhist perspective. What is Buddhist perspective in this? We are particularly using this on all our support groups. So first and foremost thing is we have to really start living in present moment. In the
Right.
lockdown, what we really did is we lived in our present moment. What did we do?
True.
We did our work from home stuff. Some people helped their wives. Some wives and husbands were preparing food together. Kids were together. So somewhere we have partially practiced staying in present. And
Right.
now we have to really reinforce ourselves to stay in present, because our mind is going to pop up either in future and then get worried for something of the past. But we have to really take effort to stay in present, because in Buddhism it is constantly told in so many texts in all these Buddhist studies that uncertainty is the only certainty. Things are
True.
going to change. If this would have not worked, I'll take back to history. In 1918, we had a similar kind of Spanish flu which is recorded in history. If
True.
at that time people would have not really faced that, they would have not done research, they would have not really dealt to that situation, after 100 years, our species would have not been here. Because
True.
they dealt it there, they might have used all these life skills. After 100 years, we are living a very nice life, and we will also face this and move ahead. So first and foremost thing to come out of this is to start staying in present. So
True.
we really need to stay in present to cope up with our existing problem.
True. Basically, take it one day at a time.
Yes, one day at a time. Do things which you wish to do, plan a calendar so that you don't get burdened. And what I would say is, like, till 2020, we were keeping our aims and objectives here. I would say keep it here, just bring it little bit down so that your achievements rates improves. So like if
True.
you wanted to achieve 100 points, let's bring it to 10 points, and every day celebrate our small achievements. Like for example,
True.
there are people who feel that they don't want to do exercise. I would say that if they're feeling low, let them practice one thing, that 5 minutes they'll invest in exercise. Tomorrow, maybe after a week, 10 minutes. So small achievements are going to help them to stay in present and to keep motivated or keep themselves aligned with the existing thing.
Very true. Very true. Uh, in one of our discussions, I remember you mentioning Maslow's pyramid, which is a very interesting theory. So, would you like to explain our viewers about that?
Yes, yes. I should definitely talk. I really love the concept of Maslow's pyramid. Now, Maslow, and I would request all our viewers and even you to just Google and learn about it more. What Maslow has told is he has given a psychosocial perspective of motivation. What did he say? There is a pyramid, there is a triangle which has 5 layers. We have 5 layers which talks about what we need to assure to go at the next level. So he has very
Right.
clearly said that the first level is basically the physiological need. Like we all have this need of wearing clothes, we have all this need of eating food. So right now, if you see, to come out of this pandemic crisis, or this to come out of this pandemic and be hopeful and face it and cope up with it, we have to really go back and check the theory what Maslow has given. So first is check whether our physiological and physical needs have been fulfilled. So in lockdown, what we did that we brought food, we brought all groceries, we had all essential items with us, so that element is checked. Now the second element was safety and security as per Maslow. So what did he told? That if you want to live a nice life, you have to also see your safety and security. So like when we were small, what our parents did is, till the time we couldn't walk, they held our hand. Till the time we couldn't run, they were behind us. We have learned cycles, we have learned motorcycles, we have learned driving by just practicing. And so someone was with us to ensure our safety till we grew up. In this
True.
particular corona case, we all have been taking our own care. Like we have been using masks, we have been washing our hands, we are trying to avoid social gatherings or take social distancing as a day-to-day practice. So that security part is checklist. That is in the checklist which has been achieved. Now the third thing what Maslow has said is concept of belongingness and relationships. Now this we need to practice immediately you are out of the lockdown or the pandemic state. We have to reinforce this concept of belongingness in our friends around, in our family, in our working culture around, that no individual is struggling alone or isolated. People are there with him. So
True.
now we have to go at the third level of Maslow's pyramid. Is we have to reinforce people that no one is alone. And I'll
Right.
tell you, Saurav, I feel sometimes we are so glad that we, in this pandemic, thank God to this internet and digital world that we could connect.
True. True.
We could see each other. Like you are sitting in other part of Pune, I am sitting in other part of Pune. If we didn't have this digital connections, the isolation would have been triggered more.
It
But
would
we
have
are
been devastating otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. So we are
True.
really
True.
so fortunate in this 21st century that at least we have this digital connection because of which we can stay together. So I would really I would really be like I would like to highlight this fact that we are not alone. So in between we had a campaign called as We Are Digitally Together. Though we are in
Right.
isolation, though we are at lockdown, but we are digitally together. So the third thing in as per Maslow's pyramid is we need to really reinforce that we have people around. After that, after we go to all these areas, we have been really crossed the area of warmth and all, then we have to inculcate a practice of helping people around, bringing them in pace with you as a law of interdependence. That will give us a feeling of accomplishment, because you will feel only peaceful when you help others. If
Right.
you see about the life skill of helping, everywhere in so many spiritual texts, in so many mythological studies, in so many philosophical stories, it has been clearly told that when you help someone, you get vibes, you get positive vibes. And this is very strongly talked about in Buddhism, under the concept of metta. This is a Pali word which talks about that you have to be compassionate to people around you, help them, and bring them at your place so that you feel a feeling of accomplishment. Like might be in this 60 days of lockdown, some of our viewers might have given food to their maids, grocery to
True.
their maids. They might have given some beautiful eating recipes to their watchmen. They might have, like, at least कुछ नहीं तो हमने क्या किया है कि we clapped for our health worker. So this
True.
all has given us a feeling of accomplishment, that we have thanked someone and we have also helped someone. So
Right.
now, after that is checklist, the world will come where again we will resume the same thing what we were doing before, is we as
Right.
individual society then succeed. So I think this pyramid is going to help us to practice in our day-to-day life, so that we have a very positive perspective and very positive say environment to grow ahead.
True. So my next and last question is about positivity. Before that, I would like to ask my viewers that if you have any questions that you would like to ask Dr. Rams, please start putting them in comments. So after this, we'll take those questions. So slowly, the offices are resuming at least at somewhere 50%, 33%, at whatever strength employees are coming back to office. And still with a lot of fear in their mind, what if I go to office? What somebody else is infected? They don't know where the colleague has come from. So still there is a lot of fear and anxiety when people go into offices. what can people do in offices to make the whole environment more positive, more cheerful?
Very true. I think this is a very nice question you have put at the end. See, we all have to really move to a world where there's a inclusivity. And the best answer for this is the support group concept. Now, what is
Hmm.
the support group concept? Whenever we start resuming our work, you work in your setup, I work in my setup, or any viewer who is working in any kind of setup where a group of people is involved, let's dedicate one day in a week, at least 1 hour in a week, to sit together and listen to everyone. And this
Right.
will be a simple listening of his week or his lockdown stories or anything. You can decide a concept, and we are merely going to sit and listen. So the concept of support group enables people to really talk about their challenges, what all they have faced, what all they have faced till now, and what all was their state of mind and how they came out of it. In this particular support group pattern, what we really need to do is sit together, say a group of 5 people, 10 people, dedicate a time slot of 5 minutes, 10 minutes each, ask the person to talk about whatever they wish to talk, and everyone is going to just sit at there and neutrally listen to what is happening. So
True.
this is going to help you to definitely build the interpersonal relationship, a nice bond, and most important is that it is going to help the group that they are not alone. People around them,
True.
people are who are there with them are totally in this journey, and they are strongly with them, fully with them to help them out to come out of it. So I will give you one very interesting example. In one of my organization which I am consulting, we had a support group in between, which was at the second lockdown, I guess. So the
Hmm.
support group started with one statement that my name is so and so, like my name is Ram. I had told about myself, and at the end I said that I am not alone. You all are with me. And we closed the support group by saying that we had a list of 10 people, like we have Saurav, we have some other friend Sanjay, who is totally in this story. So I will, at the end of the support group, I said, ki, hi Saurav, Ram here. I just want to say that you are not alone, I am with you.
Right.
So this
Right.
simple statement of reinforcing someone that I am with you, and this happened that 10 participants told the same statement to 10 people. So you can
True.
imagine what impact this particular thing this has given to them. So support group basically helps you to come on the fact that you are not alone. You have people around with you with similar challenges, and everyone together is going to overcome it.
True. It's a very beautiful concept, and I guess should be followed in every single office because now we need that connect out. Now we need that support system more than ever. Very
True.
true. So we are having some questions that we're going to take. Okay, we have a question. Hi Harshal. The question is, I have been very anxious lately. We
Hmm.
all are. We all are. Is there anything I can do to manage my emotions better?
Hmm. Yeah. So I think let's accept and respect the anxiety.
Okay.
So because
Okay.
I'll tell you, what is the name who had asked this question?
Harshal.
Yes.
Harshal.
So Harshal, I would like to really convey you that everyone in a day is going to go through this emotion.
True.
Only our timing is different, our geography is different, our ethnicity is different, everything is different. We all are going to some or the other way go experience this feeling of anxiety or anxious. Now, what we need to do is we have to improve our awareness by seeing that what thought is making us think about it. So, like if you feel that very simply that will my business be the same what was till now? Hmm? So this is a thought. Now, immediately you have a thought, you have to put a gate over your thought by asking yourself whether this thing is in your control or out of your control.
True. True.
Just one question. Just one question. So like if some of my friend is coming me and telling me I'm having a nice cup of coffee sitting in my balcony and dreaming something good thing, and he's just popping in and saying, "यार economy का तो बहुत बहुत dangerous काम हो गया." I am going to
Right.
ask my question before I pick up this thought, that do I have control over this? And the moment my answer is no, that I have no control over this, just come out of that thought. The moment you start putting this gate to your anxiety will go down. And of course, you have to take help of your different techniques like exercise and meditation. Out of that, exercise works more better. Also meditation, and start writing a diary with all those factors which make you feel anxious, and just try to understand that really do you have control over them. That's it.
Okay, that's very beautifully explained. We have another question. I stay alone, and because of this lockdown, I've been feeling very low. What can I do to keep myself in a better state of mind?
Yes,
I guess this might be relevant and true to a lot of people.
yes. I totally understand. When we went into lockdown, there was such a big challenge. Like everyone was like, just triangle and just there, jahan hai wahan pe ruko. This was the basic guidelines by government.
True,
I know it was very challenging. What is important now is, I would say that find out 2 to 3 friends in a day, at least have a normal conversation. Just pick up a call, have a normal conversation. The only answer to do is talk. Just talk. Because what happens is, unless you don't talk, you're not going to start expressing what is happening to you, and we start making our own conclusions. And I'll tell you, there are so many organizations, even after this conversation, through this channel, I would like to give some useful links. Even they can connect to me as well. So there,
true,
there are professionals who are right now available free of cost to listen. There are various government helplines. So I think the concept is to talk, find out a nice, find like at least we all have at least that one friend whom we can connect. Start doing that. The best way to start the conversation first is you can start writing about yourself and have a self conversation. Start writing your life history. The best thing is you start writing from the day you were born. Write all your memories. Write about what all you did in your school, in your colleges, how were your parents, how were your friends. This will start a self communication. Along with that, pick up phone and start talking with professionals or start talking with your friends. Talking is going to help 100%.
true. Okay. So that's a very good advice. And what we will do is whatever links that you want to share with the viewers, maybe we'll put it on and we will put those links in our description after the live is done. So you guys can surely take advantage of the help, professional help that is accessible to you. That will be very helpful. Thank you so much. We have one more question. Sudipta is asking, since workplaces have started back and everyone is trying to put 100% efforts to cope up with the financial losses, how to handle work stress as well as fear and isolation due to COVID?
Yeah. So, yeah. So let's stay on the theory of present time. This is very important. Now, what is happening is, if you go back to, let's take an example of Mahabharata.
Right,
At the last, when there is a huge war going on, so Arjun is asking to Lord Krishna that जो कोई लोग मेरे सामने हैं, all those who are just standing opposite to me in the other army, they all are my relatives. Someone is my teacher, someone is my some distant relative. ये वो is, and he's saying I can't attack on them. What happened at that point is Arjun shifted. He moved to past. Because he moved to past, he couldn't perform in the present time.
true,
So this question comes with the thought that whenever right now we are performing, I will tell you, Buddha has clearly told, Jab jago tab savera. So he has told
right,
that the moment you are aware that your past has been gone out, we have to put all our energy to invest in the present time, because what we are trying to do is we are trying to bring control over our future by bringing all these thoughts. So the best way to deal this is try to contribute what is your day's work in that office. That's it. Because we can't take the entire burden at one time. So like
true,
if you see, let's take a very simple example that if a person has to start from Pune and reach to Mumbai. So my simple question is, once he ons his headlights of his car, can he see Mumbai from Pune?
yeah,
So no.
okay, true,
So
true,
what he's going to see is he's going to see something which is 10 feet, 15 feet. And this
true,
10 feet, 15 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet of journey is going to help this person after 2.5, 3 hours to reach Mumbai safely.
true, true,
Because he has shown his trust on that 10, 15 feet. He has shown his trust on his steps of moving ahead and his strong determination to go ahead by doing what he can do right now. So this is the answer, that if you see that your losses are huge, it is going to be very difficult to perform.
true.
Very difficult to perform. So particularly in this case, particularly in this question, I would like to say, one day at a time, contribute what is your daily course. Like if
Right.
suppose I am a doctor, and otherwise before Corona, I was seeing 100 patients a day. Now, if I calculate my economy and I say that no, to complete my economy, I have to really go see for 300 patients per day, so that I'm going to complete my other part. So I'm overburdening myself. I'm pestering myself. I'm pushing myself in such a position where I'm totally pushing to contribute in such a way that I have to bring results quickly. The immediate gift nature is going to give us exhaustion.
True. True.
Already we all are emotionally and mentally exhausted, sitting at home, nothing, doing anything. So don't push. Whatever right now you have, contribute in that work and move ahead. Because
True.
at the end, in the race of the rabbit and the tortoise, we all know that who has won.
True. For sure. I guess it was a very beautiful perspective to put in all our minds that if we keep calculating what we have lost in last 8 weeks, it will be very difficult and we'll be doing a lot of injustice to ourselves taking burden of those 8 weeks in a single day. So it's better to be as productive as you can be today and think about today rather than taking the burden of last 8 weeks. That was a very good point. Thank you so much, Dr. Ram. It has been a beautiful session. I guess this is something what we in our Indian society we don't talk about these things much. We don't really talk about emotions and how people feel. I guess this was a very different and informative session for me as well as all our viewers. So we really thank you for joining us and thank you for giving us your time. Do follow Dr. Ram. He continuously posts some amazing things and updates. He keeps on sharing motivational stories, messages through his feeds. So do follow Dr. Ram and do follow Helios India. We are planning to come with such more interesting speakers and interesting topics in the lives that are coming next week. So do follow us and do keep in touch. Thank you so much, Dr. Ram, once again.
Thank you.
All right.